be there. I was coming to surprise you. Right? This is really strange. I was like, wow. So we pulled up and she got in and we took off back to Fontana and we got to the Kaiser in Fontana and she went in to see her mom and like half an hour later her mom passed away. And I was like, dude, this is weird. If I wouldn't have went, I wouldn't have picked her up and we weren't able to bring her back so she was able to see her mom. And that just really blew me away. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But see, if I were to see that, to confront this in a physical way, I probably wouldn't have gone because I would have gave in to my laziness or whatever, and I wouldn't have been able to go. But once I saw the whole thing come out, I saw the spiritual part about it, that it wasn't just about me going and visiting. It was that there was a purpose in it. And see, this is how life is for us. If we look at the spiritual part of our lives, we start to understand. But it's not an easy thing to do because we're so prone to look at things physically that we can't see God's timeline, or we can't see Him orchestrating the things of our life. And so we get frustrated, and it's like maybe it's not time. The Lord's timing isn't correct, but we get frustrated, we get upset, or we kind of throw the whole thing out. But see, the whole thing is what He's trying to get Nicodemus to see is to look at his spiritual part of his life and his understanding of God, and not just the religious part or the traditional part or the things that are fixed that he knows very well, but he needs to take his eyes off of those things and look at the freedom that there is in the spiritual part. And so Jesus tells him, once Nicodemus says, how can these things be? In verse 9, uh, verse 10, Jesus answers him and he says this: You are the teacher of Israel and you do not know these things. This is interesting because all this time before Jesus comes, or even let's just go by the time Jesus was born and up until this time, which is maybe about 20 something years, we see that Nicodemus does not understand or know the things that are spiritual because he's been so focused on the physical part aspect of his life. And this stunts his growth. So his knowledge is limited into knowing the things that are important. That are more important is the spirit, is the physic, is the spiritual. So he says